Hello and welcome to Scoop and Cast. Today we're gonna look in the issue of DJ Mahorisa Vula Vala song with Tip. We're gonna look also into the reactions of DJ Sbu'S, Thabo Small of Black Motion, Sol Phenduka, and Macg G of Podcast and Chill. So without further ado, let's go.
The reason why it came to this issue alone, I also understand the master. And you guys, one thing you need to understand also, you don't understand the music industry. It will link to 18. Understand? I've been in here for like what, 15 years or whatever, 15 years or so. Can I experience? Can you just take a whole skill of my man, huta, jokes? To speak here, understand? There's nothing personal about this thing. So, you know, when I say a story, sa very deep. The reason why I the master, I very deep. Understand? Or very deep. Went to and then they say it's an old thing. I just saw it now. This interview. I thought it was recent. So what again to know? So now I saw it now, and then I was shocked. Because he books me and stuff. We work together, really sharp. Understand? So I was off a little bit. Understand? Because of what's on top of so we entertain and give it whatever. As I tell you, Vula Vala, I feel vocally, it was a comb, understand, and whatever, I'm too whatever. You understand? The wrong thing I ain't saying, understand, I got that. I want to pina like popular Nogazi, right? So I did that song with Nogazi. If Deep was not there, Hegi Rapina Euli Nogazi. Do you understand? Do you get me? Yeah, I don't know. Let's I don't clear more, right? Do you understand? Pina e Vigro Deep I create, we create Kemufa vocal, sort of vocal actually. Let's work on something, right? This studio, win my studio and whatever, right? Then after we finish the song, I dropped the song Lake Up the Small Cascopium Kings project. Fine, right? Keeping ayama. Kiaka cause ketali vocal, get respan whatever, respan la studio saga west part. Then he takes the song and I release Ali one. Then he says give I grow deep. Ali one. We kept quiet because Nelson go came far and I remember at that time we was 18. It's not for school or I don't know, something like that, but he was in school or whatever. At least taking Tito. She's a get to them for now, Trishville, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 sharp, respond. Understand? So obviously go gaming, you'll get different information, especially when you're young and stuff. So me and Kabza, we saw the flop, Rasi entertain, you understand? Eh, don't know we are flop or sharp, whatever, I know. Understand? Don't flop, Amara flop. Then we kept quiet. So you're not thinking, so you're not one did maybe una no vele kipinayaga 1, 2, 3, 4. No. If I grow deep, it's not your song. You work go studio saka, but see more raspan. And the idea was the idea holy one. Keep in whatever. I even help you with the key and stuff and whatever. So that song is not your song. How I record that? So firstly, you didn't record the a cappella. Firstly, you don't have the master. Only these stems, it's a peanuts. We tried to honor that. Then you took the same song I release. Ke yona ntho ne ke address ka taba di master hore ke fitle mo di mastering hore ke bolela ka master le tlhalohanye master hore okay. So yena sana hana hore okay pina ke aka whatever ko release 1, 2, 3, 4 rabara di ma. I sat down with Oskido kana le Oskido Grootman mfano wa baiza couple cancel line cause o sharp una le potential whatever understand abe grand. That's the story we have Vula Vala. So Vula Vala in Castile ebile ya Vigro Deep it will never. You understand? And then vie you must understand Rona we're at the top. Nale Kabza, we're at the top. We have the biggest deals. We make biggest deals. Like the deals are on they're crazy. You understand? No, asemang le manga fitlang go di dealing tse re fitlang go tsone. You need experience. So bolela makhoa. Ho bolela makhoa o itse re bolelang le makhoa. Wa understand? Ale di deals re di bethang le ka se fihle mo. Lona what's going to happen? You're going to learn from us. Then you copy us. Then you do that shit. Because what we're doing and what we have done for this South Africa, it's amazing. It's like if it tekano.
Yeah. And it's the law. It's like music business.
It's music business.
101, guys. I mean, that's why there's a landmark case right now. It's just business law. That's why there's a landmark case between Vodacom and the guy who made Please Call Me. Because he did Please Call Me when he was getting a salary from Vodacom, created it within the structures of Vodacom, using Vodacom resources.
Yes.
Therefore, Vodacom's like, now we own it. Go to YFM now, Mac, and say you want your show you recorded and you want to put on the podcast to air. You want to play it on this channel. A show you did with your creativity under YFM. See what happens. It's the same thing. It's unfair because the intellectual property, you know, and that's the conversation you must have with split sheets, etc.
Yes.
But that's why when you've got an album, and you go to a record label and they've signed you, they're going to want to pay you a production cost. You can say it's $1 million, whatever. Once they've paid that, they own the production. They've paid the production to create that work.
Yeah.
So sadly, it sounds weird when Mahorisa says it, but that's how it works. That's how the game works, bro. Yeah. You're going to mention chicken licking and stuff. But that's how the game works.
There's no way to explain it better. Poru explain as pansul.
Yes, and that's how it works. Sadly. The shower you use to freshen up. Because those guys live in that house.
Mouse. What if you turn a mouse so mong madesabelay? Yeah,
for real, bro.
And then I spend 100,000 on that mic. I mean on that mouse.
Yeah.
Then it means I made your life easier. Like you worked for nothing.
The computer, you know, the process is better than the ones you have at home. Things are just smoother. You want a vocalist, he's got access to it. He's opening that up. Look, it's a law that's brutal, needs to be revisited, but it's the rules. It's how things go. It's not fair, but it's how things are.
Someone mustn't tell Mashavele.
Yeah! Imagine.
It's always wise to get in the industry knowing your things, like Osezi. Osezi, like
Shout out to Osezi, man.
Again,
He's a big
another
chiller.
genius. Yeah, shout out.
Yeah,
Osezi.
he was part of the album.
Yes. And studio
album,
from day one came through.
Fucking great producer. You love him. You love him, bro.
For real.
Yeah.
Yo, he's a genius.
Oh, shut up, man. I need to connect with
Osezi. Yeah, man, like he's a genius. He came in the industry understanding music and understanding the back end of it. He understands what I'm fun. You can't just, if you spending your time and if you doing this and this, it's your talent. Or whatever. In anything that we would do, it's 50 for Moto.
Of course.
It's 50% of Yamato. So we don't have to go back and forth.
Yeah, it's
trying
clean.
To,
it's
yeah. It's clean. It's simple. And why would you wanna unoke moto when you're not trying to put them on, but like when vele, it's what's due.
It's greed.
It's greed.
Yes,
It's greed.
bro.
You can't be a producer moto and then you're like 70%. Whatever percent, and then you take what. And there's session artists as well as like they are not taken serious, dog.
They get the worst.
They get the worst. Session
Even worse
artists,
than vocalists.
Yo.
Vocalists, you can get a gig here.
Why do
too.
you say that with session artists? Why do they get the worst?
Because they don't have voices, they use instruments.
True.
So in most cases, give my guitar that make that solo beautiful. But not ejo. Twar. So
Chicken licking.
Finish. Finger licking. Yeah. Fast.
My response to DJ Mahorisa, Prince KB, MacG. Number one, I first like to congratulate the gentlemen for having done really well in their lives. I admire all three of you guys for giving other younger artists an opportunity to grow, for putting them on. If you wouldn't have had a collaboration with them, they probably would not have had a successful career. Their lives would not have changed. Their families would probably have not been looked after the way they are being looked after now, but all because of you guys decided to either put them on, collaborate with the younger artists, work with them, etc. in some form of way, or however, you have then played your role in changing other people's lives. And for that, I commend you guys. I'm so proud of all of you. I've seen all of you come into the game, and I've met all of you, and I really love your work. I admire your work. You all inspire me in different ways. But now let's get into, first up with what Mahorisa said on a tweet or on an X platform that I'm paraphrasing here, because the music was recorded in my studio, in my house, in my computer. I pay the rent in this house. I keep the lights on. I pay for the food, etc. and all of that. I organize the recordings. Obviously, it's his house. He's the one that invites the guys to come, which means he's the one that chooses who comes there. So he plays a really big role in being the producer. I think there is a term or a narrative in 2024 or lately that makes the audience thinks that a producer is a beat maker. There is a difference between a beat maker can also be a producer, by the way, and composer as well. A producer also can be somebody who organizes the recording. A producer can also be somebody who pays for their recording. They can also be a composer. But that is decided upon all of the artists or the parties that are involved. Copyright is automatic, for those who don't know. Copyright is by default. There's a beautiful article. I'm going to put the link of this article in the description, and I'm going to read it for you before I come back with my commentary. Copyright is automatic, and collaborators always need to agree on ownership. This is really brilliant. This is really a brilliant thing about copyright. As soon as you write an original song, you create a song copyright. As soon as you record a track, you create a recording copyright. There are no forms to fill out, money to pay, permission to be granted. The copyright exists and you have control over it. All you have to do is make sure that the work is fixed. So that means it is written down or recorded. Who owns the copyright? You ask. If you don't register a new copyright as it is created, how do we know who owns each copyright? The law provides us with default ownership. What is the default ownership rules? Let's start with the most important ones. We know who the first owner of any copyright is, right? With songs, the default first owner is whoever writes the song. Number two, with recordings, it is whoever organizes and or pays for a recording to take place. If more than one person is involved in writing a song or organizing a recording session, they co-own the resulting copyright. Whenever music makers collaborate on writing a song or recording a track, they need to reach an agreement about copyright ownership. You have to talk about it. You have to agree on it. Who will own or co-own each copyright? What share does each co-owner get? That's when we come into what we call split sheets in the music industry language, where with each recording or every song that you make, you all agree that you'll take this percentage because maybe you made the beat, because of your composition role that you played, or maybe you wrote the lyrics even though you're not singing it. This is what we are agreeing or we are proposing that you will take as a percentage to the song. Why not because it's your vocals, but you didn't sing everything that you wrote. Some of the things we co-wrote with, you know what I mean? Like you agree on who's gonna own what percentage. That's what we call split sheets. And those should be done as soon as the recordings are done. Because sometimes we get excited, we go into studio in the early hours of the morning after a gig, or maybe we're in town, we haven't seen each other in a while, we bump into each other at the show, there's energy, there's vibing, maybe there's drinks involved, and everybody's excited, straight to the studio, a song gets made, and before you know it, excitement is always catching up on us as creatives. We might just be too excited and end up posting it on social media. We might just get too excited and even mix the song that night. If maybe you're even working with producers who can even master the song that night, that tomorrow morning or tomorrow midday, the song is already done, mixed and mastered. It can even go out. They might even want to just release it the following day. Ends up being a hit. You didn't agree on a split sheet. You didn't agree on who gets what. And once a song hits radio, it gets the buzz. The songs have become an instant hit. What do you do then? So you don't want to find yourself negotiating all of that after the song has been released. You want to do it before. Yes, I know it's impractical sometimes to always talk about split sheets even when you're still recording. No, but make sure at least as soon as recording is done, as you're about to leave, just quickly have that 5 minutes discussion, guys. Try to do that all the time, or just quickly try and get your manager on the phone or just propose a split sheet agreement on whoever you co-composed the song with, you co-collaborated on the song with, in producing and writing and composing, engineering, etc., and all these things, so that there is a split sheet that writes down your agreement for later cases in case you guys go to court or you get to want to know how do we co-own this song at what percentages each. Now, this is for collaborators to decide on what percentages you guys agree on, right? It's common for either the label or the main artist to wholly own the recording copyright. With songs, the copyright would usually be split between each writer on the agreed fee or percentage, as I've said. You guys have to document your agreement. Please, it has to be on black and white. Whatever you agree, write it down. And one page is what I was just saying, split sheet. That's fine. More established artists might just get a lawyer to write a short contract. Worst case scenario, on an exchange of emails would suffice. At least there's paper trail for future purposes in case anything happens. Or there are apps that can help you with the process. Log it. Guys, log it, please. Ideally, you should let the music industry know what has been agreed by logging it with the main industry databases. And obviously the regulatory bodies. Your publishing, they should know all of that information. If you are, for instance, a SAMRO member, you now already have a dashboard that you can link into on your side, on your computer, on your phone, so that you log it. At least you'd let SAMRO know, we've just made a song last night. This is my share of it that we've agreed upon. I co-own this song with such and such and such and such as per agreed split sheet. These are our percentages. You log it right. Yes, some people who are stoked in the past, they will then, because they are the label or because they are the beat maker and it's their studio and they're in charge and they're the producer maybe of that song or of that studio, of whatever comes out of that studio, they end up logging with a organization like SAMRO in a wrong manner where they end up giving themselves 100%. And maybe the new artist that they've just worked with knows nothing about split sheets and agreements and logging off all of that type of stuff. And this person at a later stage ends up owning the entire song. We've heard of such stories of record companies or producers or big artists who end up taking e-publishing, yomunye umntwana, taking an entire ownership of the song when it's not rightfully so. Why? Because the young person was just excited that they were in the studio with a famous artist and they're just excited that they've just recorded with them and they didn't know about what I've just said about split sheets, about negotiating, agreeing, and logging it. And maybe even being a member of these organizations like Abo Kapas or Abo SAMRO, they probably don't even know nothing about having or owning or registering their own publishing company so they can own their own publishing. So they own the rights or the publishing rights to their contribution to that song. Remember, every song, it's not all artists who can produce, write, sing, rap, and do everything all by themselves. We all collaborate. That's why I love Prince KB's point there about collaborating and sharing. Now I'm one of those people that believe in equal shares, equal sharing of a song. My split sheets, sometimes I even favor the vocalists that worked on my song. Sometimes we co-collaborate equally on however or whatever we own the song with. And also people that I work with, I make sure they've got their own publishing details. And when we log it with these organizations or these DSPs or these apps, I make sure that everybody is credited accordingly. That's extremely important to do that. And I know that sometimes I get a lot of flack out there by people not understanding the internal agreements that artists made or how the music industry operates. That's why I would like to encourage new artists out there. Guys, go register your own publishing companies. Go get yourself a lawyer. Go own your entire musical works or contributions, even if whatever song you are featured in. All of that must be owned by your publishing. That means you own your music in perpetuity. Even if you can die, your publishing company owns publishing to your music so that your family will forever benefit. All the artists who've ever worked with the TS Records, we always encourage people to own their own publishing. That's extremely important. Let's do that in the entertainment industry. Encourage new young artists to register their own publishing, get good representation, and guys, always negotiate about the co-ownership of a song in the studio before you even leave.
Yeah, there is it, guys. Thank you for watching. Tell me what you think on the comment section below. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this. Thank you. Peace out.